Good morning, mate. How are you? Quite serious news, this. The news that I'm seeing this morning. Champions League and the European Super League, which the European Super League was a private company, wasn't it, that was trying to form a breakaway league. Well, the reports that I'm seeing, and again, this isn't an official UEFA statement, but why would it be? The reports are suggesting that for the 2027 season, because that's when the current broadcast deals end. I mean, when details like this come out, you know what I mean? I always say this, innit? When you get details, it feels like it's always more than speculation. 2027, the current broadcast deals run out. And the talk is that UEFA and the European Super League are going to merge. And you go, does that feel like a thing that could happen? Yeah. Not only is there talk that they could merge, and then not only is there talk that this is 2027 when broadcast deals end, the league format is known, and it's not the same format that we saw, what was it, 4 years ago, when the European Super League rumour kind of kicked off in the first place. They're talking about two divisions, a top division and a bottom division for the Champions League. They're saying it would still use the Champions League logo, music, branding, that sort of stuff. But it would be two divisions of 18. And the top 8 go straight into the round of 16, which means basically everybody else plays off for like a round of 32 where, I don't even know if it'd be a round of 32, but basically an extra couple of rounds before you get to the round of 16. Now, 4 years ago when the Super League thing came about, the Glazers were part of those meetings, as was Arsenal's main fella. Is it Stan Kroenke? And all of the English clubs basically pulled out because of the fan backlash. And there was a couple of the big European giants pulled out because of fan backlash. If I remember correctly, Barcelona, Real Madrid and Juventus especially, they made a couple of statements saying this is going to be the future of football when they were talking about the European Super League. Barcelona and Real Madrid were the ones that were really, really pushing it. Barcelona and Real Madrid are the ones that are still pushing it. They're the ones that are named inside this latest sort of leak/rumour, which doesn't surprise me. Now, the Premier League, for all of its flaws, one of the strengths and one of the best things about the Premier League is the relative parity. Now, half of the teams in the Premier League will cry about red cartel, blah, blah, blah. It's not a thing. In fact, I might do a video just explaining how little of a thing the red cartel even is. To pass anything in the Premier League, you need a 2/3 majority vote, which I think means 16 clubs have to vote it in. So any rule changes that happen within the Premier League, basically the Premier League has agreed to do. One of the things that was in the founding document of the Premier League was a parity when it came to TV rights sharing. Now think about how popular and successful United were in the early part of the Premier League. If United had really wanted to, really pushed for, United could have easily done some sort of a breakaway TV deal in the 90s. And we would be on about 44 titles by now. Because what happened in La Liga? I remember seeing a graphic about this a few years ago. let's say there's 600 million of TV money in La Liga, just as an argument's sake. 250 each goes to Barcelona and Real Madrid, and then literally the other 17 teams scrap for 100 million. And that was how they built their wealth, and that was how you ended up with the disparity you ended up with in that league. Whereas the Premier League, everybody gets a flat fee. Everybody gets a fee for a match day, so you do earn more if you're on TV more. And then you earn more depending on the position that you finish. I think Manchester City have been the club that have constantly railed against and tried to break the league's parity since their takeover. It at one point definitely was, there could be a ratio of no more than 1 to 1.6. So if you earn 100 million as the lowest club in the Premier League, the most from TV money that anyone else could earn in the league, i.e. those who came top, those who were on TV the most, would be 160. So 1.6 to 1 is the biggest ratio that you could earn. I think Manchester City it's either changed to 1.8 or they've been pushing to change it to 1.8. But the point is, there was broadly parity in the Premier League. That didn't exist in the likes of La Liga especially. And that's how Barcelona and Real Madrid got the money that they got. And I do think that was a strength. And I do think sporting merit, sporting integrity and fairness, as much as you can share the wealth as much as possible, is a positive thing. Now, the Champions League format, I don't think it was broken. I don't think it needed fixing. I am not keen on the new format. I think European football really benefited from a home and away tie. I think that was a really good thing. It's the same as every league. Every single league, you play someone at home, you play someone away. And that's it. You can't have a league format where you get a random amount of teams that you're either drawn home or away to. That doesn't feel like football to me. That feels like something else. I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's an American sport that has that sort of scheduling system where you can just play random teams, either home or away, but you don't play them both. That makes no sense to me. Because there's certain... I mean, look, if it's a cup competition, I can accept if it's a cup competition. And people will say, well, the Champions League is a cup. You know what I mean, though? There is a league stage. Can't call it a league if you just play a random amount of teams. Like, you might as well introduce rankings, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? You're stupid. How does this affect Manchester United? Well, United could end up benefiting or United could end up losing depending on where we end up being ranked. If we end up being ranked in one of the top 18 teams in Europe, you end up in the top division, you probably make a load of money. But it ruins the sporting integrity of it, which was the whole ideal of the Super League in the first place, wasn't it? So the Super League and the protests surrounding the Super League and all that stuff came about because it was locking off sporting integrity. Now, they're not necessarily saying that in this league. That hasn't been something that has been said in this league. But again, it's the same company and it just feels like it's on the cards, doesn't it? It feels like we're losing our grip on the game, you know. Whether it's through ticket prices, whether it's through the fact that you want to buy your kid a kit, you're looking at 80, 90 quid. whether it's just through the way you are treated as a fan. I saw something the other day about the fella that sat behind the dugout at Old Trafford. Sat there for like 40 years. Club have told him that they're moving his ticket. My sock has fell down, hang on. They're moving his ticket, he's not going to sit there anymore. Sat there for like 40 years. Do one, not asked. And I was chatting to my mum the other day about this. My dad's relatively tech savvy, but the shit show and sort of nose he's had trying to sort out getting his United, NFC activated ticket on his phone for his season ticket this year. She's like, honestly, it took him days to sort it out. And she was saying about how my mum works in a residential care home for men with a specific set of illnesses. Usually people that have been homeless and have got alcohol-related sort of problems. It's a great place, and it does some really good work. And it's basically vulnerable blokes that she looks after. And she was saying that the NHS have introduced this thing now where you don't ring up and speak to a receptionist for getting doctor's appointments. You now have to go online and you kind of bid for them and you get kind of triaged online. Again, feels like it's moving towards that digital ID kind of thing, doesn't it? Which I'm vehemently against. And you go, for those of us that can't be asked ever phoning anyone ever, kind of go, okay, not a problem. But the vulnerable adults that she's got don't usually have a computer. And them as a residential care home have like a relationship with the receptionist at their local practice. So they can have a doctor come and visit them once a week. But because of this introduction of like digital bidding system, that's completely changed. And they don't know now how they get their men, which are not in great health usually, seen by a doctor. And that's not fair, is it? That's not a good society. And then she went, and what about, your granddad? So my granddad's in his 80s. My nana. They don't have the internet. They have a phone. And that's it. If they didn't have our family with them, how the fuck would they end up getting a doctor's appointment? And people in their 80s are the people who need this shit. And it's not just, obviously, brings it closer to home and understandable and relatable when it is your own family that are doing that sort of shit. But even bringing it back to the football, which is the point I was trying to make in the first place, when United introduced the barcode, which was a few seasons ago now, there was an old fella that I used to see going into the turnstile. He must have just had the same routine that we would go in. I would see him probably every 2 or 3 games. And what he'd done was, someone in his family had made him a sticker, and he stuck his sticker on an old membership card. You used to get the membership card, didn't you, or a season ticket card, like an actual physical credit card, plastic card. And he used to stick this sticker that they'd had made with a QR code of his season ticket onto this card so he could pull it out like a season ticket card used to be, scan that, and in we go, because he didn't have a smartphone. And I have an uncle, comes and watches Paddock, doesn't have a fucking phone, never had one. If you want him, you have to ring the house phone, old school style, and his wife answers. Or she doesn't, and you go, okay, I guess I can't get hold of him. And it's, I fucking love it, man, because he's like a fucking ghost. He turns up at games, and sometimes he's pissed off before I've had a chance to have a chat to him. And you're like, oh, he's fucking gone. But guess what? He's absolutely stone cold chilling. You just think the more bullshit like this comes in, it doesn't feel like the game belongs to the people who fucking own it, the custodians of the game, the fans, does it? The more shit that gets done like this, nobody's asking for this. No fans are asking for this. Maybe there's some clubs that are asking for this. Maybe there's some governing bodies that are asking for this. It feels like our game's being fucking taken away from us. You know, from being the thing that you used to do from fucking dusk till dawn, or dawn till dusk, as a fucking kid, in the 6 weeks holidays, 25 aside, don't foul Matthew because it's his ball, and he will fucking go in with it. You kind of have to let him fucking dribble with it a little bit and have a shot off, even though he's shit. Where's the fucking game gone? You know, you've got players that can't fucking communicate with fans. You got clubs that are just trying to fucking rinse you. 66 quid for a fucking 8-year-old to go and watch the game. 80 quid for a kit. You know, forget about the season ticket price rises. Talk about bidding for your fucking seat. A license for a season ticket for the next 10 years in that new stadium, which they can't make their mind up on what design it's going to be. Honestly, fucking mental. Don't know. I feel in a pretty fucking good spot, to be honest with you. I'm winning. I'm getting up early. I'm getting the fucking gym in. I got my first high rocks in a couple of weeks. I did 3 back-to-back runs back end of last week. I feel like I'm over that calf injury, but when I think about the shit that's going on with United, with the fucking country, just baffling shit that's going on all the time, and it almost feels like you're losing your grip on reality with it all. Who the fuck wants half of these things that are being introduced to us? It just feels like we're getting fucking shafted constantly, doesn't it? Right now, genuinely, with some of the things that I keep reading and keep seeing and experiencing, if this had fucking arrived at like me, the lower mental state that I've been at in the last few years, I feel great at the moment. But I find myself increasingly fucking looking at all this stuff and going, when the fuck does it ever end? I think it might have fucking seen me off if this had arrived a few years ago. The way the world feels at the moment. UEFA deciding to not get political over the calls to ban Israel. Banned Russia within a week. Okay, noted. Just some fucking serious fuckery going on. It don't make me feel good. But I can only troll my little fucking circle, can't I? So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm getting there. I'm going to fucking smash squats out. Go heavy. Go hard. If I can walk up and down stairs without my knees fucking buckling later, we ain't done enough. I'm going to hit a 5k first, get them nice and warm. And then I'm going to go into work. Got a pod with Rio first thing. Fucking Arsenal top of the league, so that's going to be a right laugh, innit? With Joel. But it is what it is. Stack your wins. And we'll control our little fucking circle, and what will be, will be. Anyway. This Monday, attack the fucking day. Get it won. Up before dawn. Up before the enemy. Put the fucking graft in, so at least you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I fucking did what I said I would do. There's a win. I'm out in a bit.